The Master of Magnetism is headed on a nautical adventure. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Giant Size X-Men Magneto issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the comic, it seems that Erik Lencher is on one of those Icelandic islands with the puffins on it, you know, the ones that look like beautiful postcards. Of course, Magneto isn't exactly the sort of person who goes on vacation. No, he's all business here, but not the regular old Krakoan business you might be thinking he is. You see, Magneto actually wants to buy this island, which is difficult because, as the surly groundskeeper says, the owner of this place is very rich and very eccentric. And hey, while we're on the subject of rich and eccentric, why exactly is Magneto here right now island hunting? Well, it seems that it was a mission given to him by Emma Frost, White Queen of the Hellfire Trade Company and one of the biggest movers and shakers in Krakoan society. She invited Erik for dinner, where we get to meet Saucier, the mutant cook. I'm not exactly sure if being an excellent cook is his mutant power, or if his weird appearance is the fact that he's a mutant and he just happens to be good at cooking anyway. Now, it's right around here you'll probably realize too that everyone in this story is acting super vague and conversations feel like they can have second meanings. Emma asks for Magneto's help in securing some island she's had her eyes on, and again you gotta wonder, why is Magneto jumping through all these hoops right now? Is he trying to, get in good with the Hellfire Trading Company, maybe try and cut some backroom deals? Or is he just taking his job as Krakoan figurehead really seriously and he genuinely does want to reward Emma for a job well done? I'm not exactly sure. Eventually, it's discovered that the mysterious owner of this island turns out to be none other than frickin' Namor, mutant king of Atlantis, invader, and about a million other things. It seems that he won this island in a card game with some Danish people following World War II. Namor also has a long storied history with Emma Frost too, and once he realizes the island is for her, he's more than willing to lease it to the mutants of Krakoa, but only on the condition that Magneto help him out with a problem. It seems that King Namor had sent a bunch of his scientists to explore some strange seismic activity deep in the ocean's trench, and they never came back. It was strange because they were literally drawn in by an actual siren song, like the great sirens of Greek myth. How can Magneto help this deep under the sea? Well, it seems that the scientist went missing behind a great metal door, the kind left behind by the Atlantean kings of old. Namor, out of a strange kind of respect, just doesn't want to use his amazing strength to rip it open, and instead hopes that Erik, being the master of magnet that he is, can open it on up. Magneto does just that, although in the end they end up releasing the Kraken, which is certainly not what they wanted to do. Believe it or not, this not-so-Ray Harryhausen monstrosity is just the guard dog. The real horrifying thing lays within the Sirens. As we quickly discover, the scientists have been dead a long time now, and Namor and Magneto will meet a similar fate unless they're willing to play the Sirens game, which literally is something out of Indiana Jones. 3 pillars, you see. Choose correctly and you will live. Choose incorrectly and you will die. Really, what's next? Does one of you only tell truth and one of you only tell lies? Namor, brash and self-assured king that he is, reaches for the conch shell right away, figuring that it's the symbol of Atlantean kings of old, so surely it must be correct. He chooses incorrectly and almost gets his face gnawed off by whatever's living inside the shell, and I mean, hey, let that be a lesson to all of you, don't go looking into strange shells. Magneto ends up faring much better in the game, figuring that this is some sort of sick, twisted game with no answer, which turns out to be the actual answer. The Sirens are defeated and their beauty ends up melting away. For his victory, Magneto is given some sort of strange Atlantean key for his trouble. Man, they gotta fix the loot table on this quest. But what he really wanted was that sweet oceanside real estate, which he totally has, and Magneto manages to go above all the contractors by using his power to assemble a brand new tower for Emma Frost. Complete with Sentinel head on the outside. That is an odd bit of exterior decorating, but you know what? You do you, boo. Magneto and Frost celebrate, and it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was Giant Size X-Men Magneto issue number 1, and this was a bit of an oddity. In fact, if this weren't written by Jonathan Hickman himself, the major brain behind all of these brand new Dawn of X X-Men stories, I would say you could totally skip this one, but knowing it did come from his head, There's a good chance the Atlantean key, this new tower, and the fact that Emma Frost and Magneto are in cahoots with one another is probably gonna be important later on somewhere. For what it's worth, though, I will say this is probably my least favorite of the giant-sized X-Men books so far. You don't have a fun gimmick like the Storm story, or even answer some questions that have been on fans' mind like what happened to the X-Mansion like the Nightcrawler story did. Overall, though, I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. It looks nice, it has a beginning, middle, and end. It just doesn't measure up to a lot of the other X-Men stories that you can read right now.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.